Alright, so I got another tutorial here for you guys, and this tutorial is going to be a grab skill. Um, so let's just hop right into it. So first things what you want to do, if you don't already have an init folder or a server script, basically a script that handles everything as soon as the game starts, go ahead and make you one, and we're going to make a variable called physics service, and we're going to set that to game get service physics service. And then we're going to say physics service register collision group, and we're going to say entity. And then we're going to copy this and we're going to just set it to entity 2. Then we're going to say physics service collision group set can collidable, or set collidable. And you're going to say entity and then entity 2, and then you want to set this to false. If I can type straight. Holy. Alright, so pretty much what that does is it's pretty much can collide. It's pretty much what can collide does, but for example, if you were to set can collide to false, you can walk through anything. You can walk through these trees, these parts, every single model, and in a rare occasion you might even fall through the map itself. So this is just a more controlled and safer way to handle collisions. So next thing we're gonna do, head into our replicated storage, and also go on the link in the description. This is not my module, but it's called Rocks module, so I'll link it down below. Make sure you get that because I'll be using this, though it's not necessary. Just get it because why not? So go ahead and get that, and inside of your remotes folder, we're gonna make a remote event, and we're gonna call this skill. Then we're going to go ahead and make a new script. We're going to call this skill manager. And then we're going to say local skill remotes is, and this is going to be replicated storage skill. And I'm going to just go ahead and copy this just for a little later reference. Then go ahead into your workspace and create a parts. And I'm gonna, not a part, my bad, a tool. Go ahead and make yourself a tool. And I'm gonna just call this tool grab. But inside your tool, make sure you turn off requires handle. And just because it's like nothing, I'm gonna just turn off can be dropped. And we're gonna go ahead and create a local script. Inside, we're gonna call this, I'm gonna call this local script handler. Doesn't really matter what you name it. And I'm gonna just create this little wait, so the script actually waits until our character exists. And we'll say local tool is equal to script.parent, and we'll say, we'll just paste in our skill remote here. So we'll say tool.activated. We'll connect this to a function, and we'll go ahead and call skill remotes fire server, and our event is gonna equal whatever you want your skill name to be. So I'm just gonna call this grab. We're gonna head to our skill manager, and I'm gonna connect the function to this. And whenever you're calling something from the client to the server, no matter what your first argument is, it's always gonna be player. Like even if you have like event, even if you want to send the player after, like if you wanted to do player here, it'll just end up sending 2 players. So no matter what, this is always gonna be player. And then we're gonna just say args. So we're gonna say if args.event, if it's equal to grab, and you want this to basically be whatever this is called. So grab. And just because it's not really a skill module or like a skill framework, I'm just gonna make inside of our server storage, I'm just gonna make a folder. I'm gonna call it skills. But if you're gonna do a skill framework like this, that's all up to you, but I'm just gonna do it like this. So I'm gonna call this skill grab, and we're gonna say local grab is equal to a table, and we're gonna return that table. And I'm gonna say grab dot return, or let's see. Actually, I think we're gonna just do this all in the module script. So I'm gonna just say local grab skill equals require manager skills and grab. So I can say grab. I'm gonna say grab skill, and I'm gonna just call this grab dot use, just because this is gonna be like using the skill itself. So I'm gonna say grab skill use. I'm gonna just pass the player as the first little parameter or argument. So now what we're gonna do is we can go ahead and just create a whole new function, and we're gonna call it set or disable collisions. And we're gonna set this to a function, and we're gonna get the character, and then we're gonna get the target. But before we actually do anything with this, we're gonna say local player or local character is equal to player dot character. Local humanoid is equal to character dot humanoid. And just capitalize this, and then we're gonna go ahead and do this. So grab dot return hitbox. Actually, we don't even need to do this. We can just make this a local function. So I'm gonna say local function return hitbox. I'm gonna say local op equals overlap params new op dot filter type, and we're gonna say encode, and we're gonna use the same method of entities folder as last time. So we're gonna say overlap params filter descendants, and the table of this is gonna be workspace entities get descendants, though that may not be needed. That's how I'm gonna do this. We're gonna say local results is workspace get parts bounds and box. All right, and we're gonna say for and hit parts and results. We're gonna say if hit parts dot parent find first child humanoid, and hit parts dot parent is not equal to character, and then you want to just pass character at the top. I forgot about that. Then we're gonna just say return hit parts dot parent, and because we're returning, we don't really need a check like we did last time with local hit is equal to anything. We don't need that because it'll just stop as soon as it hits the first thing. So we can say local target equals return hitbox character, and we're gonna say if target is not equal to nil, or if target is equal to nil, then we're gonna return end. And basically what this is doing, this is getting our hitbox, and it's gonna send it to this use function. So when we call use, which is pretty much left clicking on our skill, it's gonna give us a hitbox, return our target, and do like this. So then we're gonna say grab dot disable collisions. We're gonna pass character and target. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say for parts and character get descendants. If parts is a base part, we're gonna say part dot collision is collision group is equal to entity, and then we're gonna repeat the same thing for our target. So we're gonna say target, and we're gonna just set this to entity 2. And while we're here, I'm just gonna set our walk speed. So character dot humanoid dot walk speed is equal to 0, and I'm just gonna set our jump power to 0 as well. Jump power, and then you can just copy this and do the same thing. Oh, and also I forgot, character dot humanoid dot auto rotate, and set this to false. Then you simply just copy this, leave a little space, and we're gonna just set this to target, target, and target. So basically what this is gonna do is disable the collision, stop them from walking, and then what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna set target dot humanoid root parts C frame, and we're gonna set this to our character's humanoid root part C frame. And the reason we're doing this is because it's a Blender animation. The way I made the animation, the root parts are essentially like stacked on top of each other. So in order for the animation to play properly, that's how you have to do it. But depending on your animation, you set the like offset depending on how you animate it. Like in Moon Animator, if I animated this like 5 studs behind this, you would set the target 5 studs behind. What you want to do is in the link in the description, I'm gonna have the I'm gonna have the animations along with the rocks module link. So just go ahead and grab those from the rocks mod, or from the description. It's the animations pretty much. So what I'm gonna say is local user animation, and we're gonna say humanoid animator load animation, and then we're gonna use, let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and just put the animations inside of this script. So I'm gonna make a folder, call this animations, and I'm gonna just insert the IDs here. I'm gonna just say script animations and user. Then we're gonna say local target animation is target, and actually I'm gonna just copy this, and then we can just replace it as such. So we can say target.humanoid, and of course you want to set this to target as well. We're gonna say user animation play, and then target animation play. So pretty much what this is gonna do, and we can go ahead and hop in game and test it, is this is essentially gonna freeze the player, change their collisions, and play the animation. Oh wait, I forgot to give myself the tool, I think. Yep, the tool is right here. Forgot to put it in the starter pack. Alright, so we can go ahead and test it, see if everything runs well, if it operates correctly. I didn't even set our box. So our box, we're gonna set this to character humanoid root part dot C frame times C frame dot new 0, 0, 3 or -3. And then our size, we're just gonna set this to like 777 vector3 dot new 777, and we're gonna pass our overlap params. Entire time I'm like, why is it working? I forgot that. And if you guys were wondering, the way you can actually visualize a hitbox, say if you wanted to go like 777 like we just did, get yourself a part, set the size to 777, and you can use this command bar and just set it to like the humanoid like that. And then this is basically the hit radius. And if you wanted to do like an offset, you just say cframe.new, and this is pretty much what our hitbox looks like. It looks exactly like this. That's one way you can do it. But we can go ahead and hit play, test this out, and it should pretty much play our animation. Okay, I spelled it wrong. There goes another thing. Spelled it all the way. I'm gonna just snatch it from here. Alright, this should work. This should work now. Boom, like that. I don't know why the character, like it set the character behind, but that's probably because our, okay, so pretty much in order to fix the animations being separate, you just add like a little weight between your disabled collisions, because the reason it's doing that is because they're colliding, but they're just like basically it's bumping the other one off, so it's just going to be a little offset. But now what you want to do is we can say user animation keyframe reached, and we can just call this one keyframe, and we can say if keyframe is equal to hit, and then if keyframe is equal to n, and then just copy this over, and then just get rid of the hit one right here, and set this to target animation. And then on this keyframe n, we can just so we can make another function. We can call this enable collisions, enable collisions, and just set these both back to default. And then for the walk speed, just set this back to whatever yours originally was at. Make sure you turn back on auto rotate, because if auto rotate is not on, you're basically not going to be able to turn your camera, and that's going to be an issue. So actually for this second target animation, you can just delete it because we only need it for one. So at this keyframe reached end, we can just say grab, enable collisions, character target, and on hit we can just say target dot humanoid dot health minus equals, and whatever you want your damage to be. I'm just gonna put the damage to like 25, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and just use a similar system with our replicator. Pretty much what you do is get yourself a remote event, call it replicate, and make a local script pretty much. And we're gonna say if args.event is equal to create debris. I'm just gonna go ahead and copy this right here, put this in here, and then we're gonna say oh, I don't have a replicate. Okay, hold on. So at the top up here, we're gonna use this replicate function, and we're gonna say replicates fire all clients, and the event is gonna be called create debris. Create debris, and then I need to get rocks module as well. Okay. Okay, so I got the rocks module, it's right here, and we're gonna say, and just for like reference, I'm gonna copy this back over, and then we're gonna say position, and I'm just gonna pretty much set it like so. So position, distance, the size, and we're gonna put it to this vector 3 right here. Let's say filter, we're gonna set that to nil. We're gonna say rock count, we're gonna set that to 25. We're gonna set ice to true, and we're gonna set duration to 5. Now this may look a bit confusing or a little crazy, but pretty much what you want to do is just go here. We're gonna say args.position, we can close that. What else? args.distance, args.size, args.filter, args, I think it was rock counts, I believe. Okay, yeah, rock count, args.ice, and then args.duration. And this should work. We're gonna go ahead and test it and see how this is looking. Oh, that looks a bit crazy. That looks not a bit crazy, that looks a lot crazy. So obviously the size is humongous, so I'm just gonna put the rock size to like 1 or something, and the distance, I'm just gonna set this to 15, and I'm gonna set ice to false because obviously we don't want ice on that because that looks a little crazy. So just to test it again, boom, like so. Boom. And obviously within, let's see, within this hit right here, you can simply you can add knockback to like separate the root parts so they're not stacked on top of each other. But that's pretty much the end of this video. I know it was all over the place at the end because I never used this rock module, but that's something new I've learned, and I'll link that down below as well as the animations. And if you have any suggestions as what I should make, leave those down below. But I'm out, man. Peace.